Does your skill work in your games? For 99% of players, the answer seems to be no. What is the reason? It could be because you have not gone through all 4 phases of what it takes to fully master a skill, 4 phases that I will discuss in today's video.
So the first phase of learning any new skill in football, whether it's your passing, dribbling, or whatever it is, it's to go out by yourself out on the pitch and do the skill slowly, without any external pressure whatsoever. The goal here is not to be able to do the skill perfectly from the beginning, it's to go out and to actually make mistakes, because it's from the mistakes that you actually learn what works and what doesn't. So, for example, if I was to learn the step over from the beginning, I would grab a ball, I would go out on the pitch by myself and practice the movement slowly, making the mistakes and learning from those mistakes. I would also try to watch other players perform the step over and try to mimic their movements, see what works for them and what I can apply to my own game. And when do you enter phase 2? That is really when you feel that you can perform the skill in isolation by yourself comfortably without any external pressure. So what do we do once we enter phase 2? Phase 2 is about perfecting the movement. You can add, combos, you can do more things than just an isolated step over. For instance, that could be that when I'm training by myself still, I could pass the ball against a rebounder, I could get the ball back, I could run with the ball for a while, then perform the step over and then head into something like a finish or a cross or a pass, just, to connect the different phases of play so that I'm not just performing the step over, I'm incorporating that into other actions that I'm performing out on the field. And then once you feel that you can perform the actions when you're training by yourself, like if I want to learn the step over and I practice it slowly and then I start to incorporate other actions and when I'm in phase 2 and try to get, being able to perform the skill fluently by myself, that's when we enter phase 3. And then once we enter phase 3, what we want to do is we want to add the external pressure. Now we have mastered the skill by ourselves. Now we want to add in other players, because that is in reality where we want to perform the skill is in a game or in training sessions when we encounter other players. And the mistake that players make here when they start to perform their skills in a team environment is that a lot of people comment on the videos that they can't perform the skill when going out on the pitch or in games, and a big reason is because they haven't really mastered the skill. They think they have in an individual environment, but once they get into a team environment with other players, that's where the issues start to come in. And the solution to this problem is really to make mistakes. And this is often a thing where players, they stumble because they don't want to make mistakes, but you have to make the mistakes. You have to lose the ball when trying these dribbles, because otherwise you will never learn in what situations you should use the dribble and in which situations you shouldn't use the dribble. So my recommendation is to just go out on the field, if it's with your teammates or if it's with your friends, and don't care when everyone else will scream at you, because they will. But you know that you have to make the mistakes to learn. And that's the most important thing here. In phase 3, make the mistakes in a team environment with external pressure and you will improve very quickly. And phase 3 is really over when you feel that you can perform the skill in a team environment, for instance, in training. And then phase 4 is the final step really, when you bring the skill into a game. And now just because you bring the skill into a game situation, that doesn't mean that you can make mistakes anymore, because you still will make mistakes and you have to be comfortable with making mistakes in games. And games is a bit difficult because it's a more pressured situation than instance in a training where you can make mistakes. Maybe your teammates will scream at you, but in a game there's a lot more pressure involved. And this is really the final hurdle and the final step before you have mastered the skill. Because in reality, you never really master a skill because you keep working on that thing for your entire career. Passing and first touch is something that I learned when I was a kid, but I still work on that, every day when I train. And phase 4 is really over when you comfortably can use the skill within a game. I hope this video brought more clarity as to what it actually takes to learn a new skill and the different phases you have to go through to master it. But that's it for this time. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, but I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye.